Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Frontline Security Podcast. Now, with me today is a very special woman. It's Claudette Stewart. Now, Claudette's been in the industry for over 22 years. And today we're going to be talking all about her journey in the security industry, the importance of women in security, and we're going to be talking all about what it's like being an SIA trainer. This is what's coming up.
And they look at me like, right, you're going to train me? Yeah, right. Legally allowed to blag your way into people's companies and fake IDs through windows.
Like a little secret agent.
Yeah, there were 6 of us following these people around and taking pictures of them. Put my hands on his neck and there was no pulse.
Okay, so Claudette, firstly, thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome. Nice seeing you again.
We're going to get into so much today. Obviously, said there, we're going to be talking about your journey, women in security, and an SIA trainer. But let's go right to the beginning. What made you start working in security?
I started off as stewarding, and it's before the SIA, and I was working for a big football club, and then SIA came out, and we was asked, do you want to do it? If you wanted to stay, we had to do this course, we had to get this badge. Back then, it was only like a 3-day course.
3 days?
3 days. So, oh yeah, okay. So they said to me, don't worry, we'll pay for the badge. All you got to do is turn up with a photograph and some proof of address and some ID. So I done the course and I got my first badge. I still got it.
The first one?
The very first badge, I still got them all. I kept every badge.
Does it look that different to the current one?
Totally different.
Yeah?
Yeah, the picture, the word, the typo, the layer, everything.
Oh, I should have asked you to bring it.
Yeah, still got it, yeah.
And can you remember the course? What was the course like?
What they done, one of the guys was, I don't know if they trained him up, but they got one of the guys who we used to work with to train us all. So he must have been a qualified trainer. So they booked a venue and got Ben, name was Ben, to train all of us up. So he done it in over a 3-week period. Each of us, after 3 or 4 days, he'd be banging us out and, yeah, got our badge.
Yeah. And obviously back then, first aid wasn't a requirement.
No first aid, no physical intervention.
No physical intervention?
No physical intervention, no first aid.
Oh, God. How things have changed.
Yes. Yes. So, and then, yeah, the physical intervention came out in 2009.
Yeah.
So I think when I went back to winning my badge for 2009, then I had to do that physical intervention thing.
So you got your license and then you continued to work at football grounds?
Yeah, by then I was doing about 3 or 4 different football grounds. But I just started football.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Premier League?
Premier League.
Which clubs, can you say?
Chelsea. I started at Chelsea, spent 16 years at Chelsea.
Oh, nice.
Spent about 10 years at Crystal Palace and about 7 years at Fulham.
Are you a big football fan?
I am now.
You are now? I was going to say, because obviously you just get to watch loads of games.
When I started working football, I didn't even used to watch a match on the television. I couldn't tell you who was who and what team was what team. But after about 3 or 4 seasons at Chelsea, I picked up the vibe.
Yeah.
I should say. Yeah, I'm passionate about it as well.
Do you get to watch much of the match when you are a student?
You're not supposed to, but yeah.
But you do?
Yeah. You can't be standing there blatantly looking at the pitch.
Yeah.
But there are ways to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, peripheral vision and stuff like that.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah? Would you go back to it now?
Yes, I would.
Yeah?
Definitely.
What would you say are the best things about being a steward?
The fans.
Yeah?
Yeah, they all stick to. It's like a little family, and you get to see the same ones over and over again. And they talked to me. I looked after them. They looked after me, and it's just nice. It was a nice atmosphere. Really nice atmosphere of football.
You must have seen some crazy things though, being a steward at football grounds.
Yeah. I remember, unbeknown to me, when Chelsea had Rafa Benitez or something.
Rafa Benitez.
Yeah, the fans weren't happy with him.
No.
And they made a lot of stickers and stuff. Rafa out, all this derogatory stuff. Unbeknown to me, they stuck a few of them to my back. In the home end. So when I was coming up to me, slapping me back, going, all right, Claudette. No, they were putting stickers all over me.
Yeah. Gosh, I've got so many friends in the home end.
Yeah, and I'm walking through like a walking advertisement to get Rafa out. So,
you were the reason he left.
Yeah, I think so. One of my colleagues pointed it out to me, and I had to go to Chelsea and I was let you know, I didn't do it on purpose. It wasn't advertising. I didn't know I had it.
Yeah.
But I had to make a report on it.
Report? That's serious.
Yeah, they took it that serious. Make a report.
Fair enough.
They weren't me.
So you were working in football student for a couple of years, and then is that when you then decided to move into door work?
I got forced into door work.
Forced into door work?
Yeah. I have to admit, though, I made a lot of family insecurity at football at Chelsea. And it's one of the guys, I've tended over the years to work with guys who, because when I first started, it was a man's world. Mm-hmm. So I was just a little female there to cope with the odd female who might need a handbag or a heel broke or she couldn't find her lipstick. Then they'd call me in. But over the years, it's got more and more females are more better at it, and we're getting more clued up, and more females are coming in. And there was a shortage of females on doors. They couldn't get females to do doors because we all thought the same thing. You're going to go, someone's going to smack you in the face, or you're going to get beat up, and it's a man's world. And one of my friends taught me. He said to me, "It's not like that." He goes, "Trust me." He goes, "Come to work with me. I need a female tonight. Come and work with me tonight." And I went with him to a place in Wimbledon for my first ever door. Ended up staying in that venue for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, talked to me like a duck to water. I had no problems. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I had problems, but nothing that I ever felt I couldn't deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
And how have you noticed the industry change, like attitudes towards female security change over the years?
Yeah,
Obviously, you've been in security for 22 years.
Yeah, I've noticed the men now more tend to let us try and deal with it first.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Because they don't want it to go to where testosterone will take it. So a lot of times I'll say to the guy, look, my male colleagues, let me go and talk to them first. And they go, right, go for it. Because they'd rather that and then resolve it that way than it gets all physical.
Yeah.
Which normally happens when testosterone comes in touch with testosterone.
So you think having more female security... Well,
yeah, we make the whole vibe better, different. We're not after the same things as the men are. We just want peace and quiet. Men want to win the cockfight.
And what would you say to women out there who are thinking about joining the security industry? What advice would you give them? Say if they're first starting a shift.
Be yourself. When I first started security, the only rules that I've ever implied, and it's the same rules I apply now. Treat people how you expect people to treat you, and speak to people in the way that you expect to be spoken to. That's it. Easy.
I mean, you should use that for everywhere, really, shouldn't you?
But that's it. That works. When I'm going to someone, I'm saying to him, like, excuse me, so you need to leave. And he says, I'm not leaving, make me. I'll just tell him why it's a good idea, just not to go to there. So I'll say to him, and I'll put things out there that will say, look, why would you want to do that? And I'll reason with him and change his mentality to, you know what, you're right, it's not worth it. I'll just go. That's what I'm going to get from them by the time I finish talking to them. And sometimes if a man was doing that, it doesn't always work.
No.
We're needed. We needed to keep
to bring
the
that
calm.
softer touch as well.
Yeah, I talk like this when I'm talking to them. I don't get heated. I don't rise to their tone levels. I don't come across as aggressive. The same tone, and I talk to them, and eventually they stop.
Yeah.
I can't be angry if I'm not angry with them back. I think women are good in the industry, and the more of us there is, I think the more people tend to have better behaviour.
Yeah. And do you still think there's still a huge demand for...
Oh, yeah, definitely. A lot of the jobs I do get called up for. I mean, I don't do as much security as I used to, and I'm still getting called up. We need a female. Do you know any females? Do you know any good females? Still.
Really?
Still. Yeah. And us females who are in it, I've got like getting called all the time because they know there's, are you available? Please, can you? I'm like, I don't do that no more. And they go, please, we can't. I end up doing stuff. So if there was more females in the industry, yeah, there's a lot.
There's so much work out there for them.
Yeah. And we're good supervisors as well.
Good supervisors?
Yeah.
As in looking after teams and...
Look after our team properly. Yeah.
So out of all the roles you've done, door work, working in football stadiums, where have you enjoyed it the most?
After football, I don't know. York Hall, the boxing place.
Oh, cool, nice.
Yeah. I spent a couple of years in there watching on match nights.
Yeah.
Serious amounts of fights on one night and huge amount of blood going there legally. But Yeah, I liked working there and all.
Yeah, would you
I think it's crowd atmosphere that I like.
Yeah.
I think I'm good at crowd management, so I like working with crowds. So I think that's it. I liked it for that.
Would you say maybe starting off in that kind of role, like a festival or football, that kind of sense, is a good kind of stepping point into security?
Yep. I done the BST in Hyde Park. That was a good place. And I actually, a couple of people who were just coming into security, I got them onto that shift as well. And they learnt working within a team, everyone's got to do their bit, make the whole thing work together. And I think it was I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Big events. Like, again, not too big, because like places like, if you go to somewhere like Wembley, for example, you'd be overwhelmed for your first ever gig, because the place is massive.
Mm-hmm.
And then finding where the staff sign in, to where the canteen is, and stuff like that, it's too big.
Yeah, and they do have like massive events.
Massive
there's that
events.
big documentary on Netflix at the minute about the Euro final, everyone trying to storm it.
Exactly, yeah, stuff like that. I mean, I think over 1,000 fans got in.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy in there. So I think small events, no doors as yet. Learn to deal with people. Then when you get to a door, you're ready.
Yeah. And you mentioned there you enjoy working as a team, looking after a team. Is that kind of what made you get into becoming an SIA trainer? Working with and looking after people?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I did. Because everybody who was on my team ended up becoming a supervisor. And as far as I said to other people, whatever ladder I'm on, if I can pull somebody else up onto that ladder with me, then fine. So whatever position I got, I'm like, come on, you lot, you need to learn this because I know it, if you know it. And then, it's just quite proud, because a lot of the supervisors at Chelsea they tell people about me that I'm here because of a woman called Claudette who dragged me up and fixed me up and made me into a supervisor.
Yeah.
So when I get people book up my course, I've heard about you, Chelsea. But it's good.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I think I've got enough experience or knowledge that would be beneficial to somebody else. So as I'm coming out of the industry, maybe it will help those coming into it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the students who talk to me still say to me, something will happen and they'll remember a story that I told them about a similar situation, and it helped them that particular moment. Oh, that's good. That's what I want.
Well, speaking of your students, I was one of your students was it back in November for the top-up course?
Yeah.
And you were fantastic.
Oh,
I
thank you.
I think it's the way like everyone is constantly engaged throughout, because it could be quite boring just going through PowerPoints and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the way that you tell stories and stuff that relate to what's on the PowerPoint, it's easier to digest.
Yeah.
And then when you're thinking about you doing the exam, you remember, like, Claudette said a story about this and you do this. So, you were absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. And it's all true stories.
Yeah.
All true.
Yeah, there are some fantastic stories.
True.
I mean, we've recently just done a behind the license video with you that people can watch. And Claudette does tell some fantastic stories, so I do recommend watching that. I'll put a little link to that as well. But going back to being a trainer, how long have you been a trainer for?
But I started off in 2018.
Yep.
But then I was just training stewards for football grounds. So I started off doing the NVQ2 in spectator safety. So this is before I got involved with Get Licensed. And I spent a lot of time in Newcastle and Bristol and Bradford and Sunderland and Birmingham. So they kept booking me into hotels.
Everywhere.
And then the paperwork that went along with doing this course was ridiculous. So I was talking about it to a friend of mine who was a trainer. And he said, why don't you just upskill yourself and move on and start doing door supervisor? And I was like, me? You're joking? I just managed to do the NVQ2. And he went, no. Trust me. I wouldn't tell you to do it if I didn't think you could. So I looked into the additional qualifications. It introduced me to somebody a trainer's trainer. And decided to do it. I thought if anything goes wrong, then it go wrong. But I'm trying to earn back enough money to cover my investment in myself. So that's what my initial target was. If I don't like it, I'll stay in it long enough to recoup my expenses, and then I'll find something else to do. because I was already also a qualified fraud investigator.
Fraud investigator?
Yeah, so I worked for HSBC for 34 years.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so and I went into the physical security side of the bank. So I dealt with the alarm systems, the CCTV, the raids, what happens when your building gets blown up, shit like that. I've done all that for HSBC before I left. So I was thinking they were interested in me coming back. So I thought either go back into fraud, go back into the physical side of the bank, or try this trainer thing.
And the trainer thing worked out?
Trainer thing worked out.
You love it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, get to talk all day about a subject that I love talking about.
And then, so you were training up stewards in 2018.
Yeah.
And then when did you make the move over to SIA training?
2019.
Yeah. And it was that partnering with Get Licensed straight away?
No, well, I partnered with a company called UGMT, Upgrade Me Training. And then they were the ones that introduced me to Get Licensed. Because he took all of us, he was thinking as a company to go in to Get Licensed. So you were like, are you like with me or not? I was all right, okay. Are you sure we're going to be all right over there? I don't know these people, but yeah. He said, don't worry, you'll still be working under me, but Get Licensed running the show.
Yeah. And how do you find it working with Get Licensed?
I like working with like-minded people, and a lot of the people that I do come in contact with are like-minded. I mean, no one meets everybody. We don't like everybody that in life anyway, so that's sort of, everyone works differently, everyone does their own thing different. But normally, yeah, I think everyone's all on the same page, and I do get enjoyment with some of the colleagues that I've met and that I've worked with, and I think as a company, they do look out for us.
So obviously you can set up as your own individual partner and train students yourself, but what benefits have you found with partnering with Get Licensed?
They do all the hard work. They set up the venue, they advertise the course, they take the payment, they give the student all the learning material. I just got to they let me know where to be and what time.
Easy.
And I just turn up with my dummy, my first day dummy, and my laptop. And they've done everything. So I can work with that.
Yeah. And you are pretty much still your own boss because you can pick and choose when you work.
Yeah. They give you the course, they tell you what dates, can you do it? You say yes or no. And then if you take it, then they tell you, okay, be there at this time. This is how many students you got. This is your venue. It's all been booked and paid for. Just turn up and teach. Yeah.
For anyone thinking about becoming a trainer today, do you know the process that someone has to go through?
The first thing you got to have is your AET, which is the Adult Educational Training.
Level 3, I believe.
Level 3. It used to be called PETALS.
Yes.
Yeah, so you get that first. And then I went in and I got my assessor qualification. That took me a couple of months, 2 or 3 months. And then after that, I went in and I've done my delivering conflict management. I think that was 2 days. And then I've done the delivering physical intervention.
Yep.
And then once I had those, got certified, I was like, last one was like, hello, Claudette.
Come and join our team.
Come and join our team.
Yep.
But again, another thing about Get Licensed, they let me shadow for a little while.
Yeah, that's good because it kind of gives you a...
Yeah, I shadowed, and then on one of the shadowings, I think the trainer let me take over for an hour.
Yeah, how did that feel the first time?
Shit. Oh, God, I was nervous, but yeah. Yeah, I sweated a bit, but yeah, he said I done all right.
Yeah.
And I stuck to what I knew. I said it's easier when you're talking about what you know.
Yeah, and you love it. You can tell that you love it, yeah. So. But also for anybody who is interested in becoming an SIA trainer, we are running the SIA Train the Trainer Masterclass. These are every couple of months, but we have got one in, I think it's July. It's usually about, I think it's $13.99, but right now it's $7.99. As recording this podcast, it's $7.99. But that gets you all of the level 3 awards that Claudette talked about. It's the physical intervention, first aid.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah. Oh gosh, what else was it? The teaching one.
Delivering conflict management, delivering physical intervention.
Yeah. So you get all of those qualifications, and then you partner with Get Licensed. So again, if you are interested, I'll put some links in the little comment section. But yeah, so for anybody who is interested, what advice would you give them when they first start?
It's not just about delivering the course material. It's about making sure the student understands the relevance of it. Everyone can do exams and answer questions, but do you understand people behaviour. So if you're good at showing empathy, you've got patience as well.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get some students who require a bit more attention than others. It's not just a blanket sort of post.
Yeah.
You get different people on the course for different reasons. And if you've got patience and you have enough, I say life experience or door experience where you can help the student understand, you're good. That's the first steps.
Also, one of the requirements is as well, you need, I think it's 2 years frontline experience in the past 5 years.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you've done that, then you've pretty much, you've got the experience really to teach people.
It's basically mostly about experience, like I said. Stuff that most of the stuff I teach about is stuff that I've been through.
Yeah.
That really happened, and it just happens to some kind of PowerPoint resonated me when I read it out, and this is when this really did apply. And I'll tell them a story when this really did work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So having stories and stuff like that is
experience.
It's making it more enjoyable and interesting for people, because people, again, nobody wants to sit and just get talked at, especially the door supervisor 6 days.
Yeah, it's 6 days of coursing. There's 4 modules on a PowerPoint. You're going to go boss-eyed, and the students are going to fall asleep if you just sit there and read the PowerPoint. It's not good.
No. And what would you say you think is the best thing about being a trainer?
Well, Get Licensed took that away from me when they started putting my picture on the bookings. But up until that point, me walking in the classroom and seeing the face of the men sitting there who were like 3 times my size, and they look at me like, right, you're going to train me? Yeah, right. And then by the end of the week, they're like, you know what, enough respect to you. I did not think you were like, yeah. And I get my feedback is good. But initially, I also love seeing the look on their faces when I walked in.
Mm.
Hi guys, I'm here to train you to be security. See, when they're going to go in miniskirt and high heels and see what they say.
And do you think it's more comfortable as well for female students coming on and seeing you as well?
Yes, as well. I've get it from women who say that it's nice to see a woman up there. I get it from black women as well, to come in there and see someone who they can identify with, talking about stuff that I know what you mean by you say that. And just different age groups. And I tend not to judge age groups, because sometimes the 18-year-old surprise me more than the 30-odd-year-old. So I tend to accept people I'm not saying to someone who's 18, listen, I'm old enough to be your mum. I don't go down that road. I talk to them on their level and I get respect back.
Yeah.
But the younger group tend to appreciate me. The females tend to appreciate me. Black females tend to appreciate me. And then the big men who think I can't do jack shit when they first meet me tend to respect me by the end of the week.
So you said that people come in and they have this preconceived perception about you, being a woman, about to teach them the security training.
Especially the ones who have their badge already and they come for the top up. Mm. They think I'm some little female who's going to teach them how to suck eggs and they know everything already. And then I ask them a question they can't answer.
Yeah. Have you ever had any really difficult students?
Oh, yeah. We've had someone who thinks... After the phone I started, one guy, big guy, walked in. You're a tutor, are you? Yeah. Just let you know, I can't sit until 7:30. I've got work to do. So you better hurry up. I was like, yeah, no, let's make it easy for everybody. We just go home.
Yeah, let's just cut it now.
You know what? I went, if you're going to talk to me like that for the next couple of days, I'm not teaching you. So if you want to if you've got a badge that's going to expire, yeah, and you want to renew it, all right then, I'll suggest you come in differently, roll your chest in a little bit, sit down, and we'll be going to be here till 7:30, or you go home. He looked at me and went, all right, when's that done? He just thought he was going to come in and tell me what to do, not now. It doesn't work that way. And it's still, like, I get that now and again. And I get the bigger guys who try and talk to me like I'm just a simple little female. And then I remind them I'm your tutor. So far as you, I'll change your tone. And then they do.
Yeah. I think, people they don't really want to sit for 6 days, because it is
I
long.
Understand.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I've got to stay with you for 6 days as well.
We're both in the same.
Things I'm going to be doing.
Both in the same boat here.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat.
So, what advice would you give to someone who's coming onto your course? So someone's booked onto your venue, which is currently in Elephant and Castle, correct?
Yeah, Bermondsey.
Bermondsey.
I do Bermondsey and Wimbledon.
Yeah,
Bermondsey is my main.
So someone books the door supervisor course. They see, my trainer's Claudette Stewart. What would you tell them before they arrive?
Come on knowing that you're going to be putting in some work. It's not going to be a piece of cake, but it's going to be fun. Yeah, because it's got to be fun. Otherwise, we're all going to get bored, excluding me. So I make it fun. I make it interesting, and I make you realise what the badge is all about. When you get a badge, it's not just about doing security, throwing people out. It's about customer service, looking after people, and empathy. That's it.
Yeah.
And learning how to keep a straight face when you're not meant to laugh at something.
That's a big one.
That's a big
you see,
one.
I think that's the one thing that causes a lot of trouble, isn't it? Especially if it's...
Something happens and someone laughs at the wrong time. You're not meant to laugh. But some people master how to keep a straight face. That's one thing I've learned worked so much for me. I mastered how to keep a straight face.
I mean, obviously not just whilst you're training people, but in actual
on the
work.
Door, in working, you might come across a situation where your initial instinct is to burst out laughing or to show a reaction that's not nice. And don't forget, somebody else is seeing your face, someone else is going to hear or whatever. And that's based something. It could be the person that you're laughing at. It's not good. I've had to deal with a complaint when my colleague burst out laughing at someone, and then the person came to complain to me. I could see why my colleague laughed, but I couldn't laugh. I had to take the complaint.
Well,
and keep a straight face.
Have you got a tip for that?
Think of something else. Think of something that how did I learn it? Yeah, I started thinking of things that almost upsetting.
Oh God, we don't want to start crying.
Stuff that but you have to. It's really hard because you have to still listen to what the person is saying, so that you don't look like you're away and you're not paying attention. But you got to ignore. Well, in that case, I had to ignore what I was seeing. I just concentrated on his eyes, and ignored everything else, and just kept thinking, this is not the time to smile. This is not the time to show any facial anything. Because when someone's looking you in your eyes, the first thing they're going to see straight away is what you're really thinking.
Yeah.
So I learned over the years.
Straight face is key.
Straight faces works really, really well. Really, really well.
So you've been a trainer now for over 5 years.
Yeah.
And throughout that time, have you always worked on the side as well?
Yes.
Yeah. In a security role.
Yeah.
So what would you say after doing both, continuing to do both? What do you prefer?
Honestly, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I enjoy both differently. I think on the door is the adrenaline side, and the classroom is just my chatty, sharing my knowledge side. So I think together...
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect combo.
Perfect combo for me. Because when I do doors now, it's not like I'm working anymore. I'm doing something that I enjoy and I just get paid for it.
Yeah.
Teaching, I'm doing something that I enjoy and I'm getting paid for it. So it's the same.
To get paid more being a trainer?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if I was getting that money in the door, I'd be like, I'll be right, innit? Like, no, you get paid, obviously you get paid. Better day rate being a trainer. Yeah.
So is the plan to continue doing both?
Yeah. My badge is due for renewal in September. And the last time I renewed it, I did say then, I'm not renewing it again. I did. And then, because I'm a grandmother now. So, but it's come up again. And I put my top up, so I'm going to do it again for 3 years. So in 3 years' time, I think what I'm going to do then. Yeah. But I'm going to keep training.
Do you need a valid license to be a trainer?
No. But it's good. When you're talking about personal development and talking about stuff, I might be, if I don't do it, I can't be teaching it. I mean, all right, the stuff that changes, we all know that the government brings out new rules, regulations, licensing laws change. If I'm not aware of the changes, I could be teaching outdated information. So part of the things I'm doing is also that's what I'm saying still work. So I don't be going in there and telling females, just talk to them, and then that's not what's happening anymore. So I still do what I do, and it still works. And so I'm more confident in the classroom talking about it because I'm still doing it.
You mentioned there about continuously trying to develop yourself, develop your skills. What extra courses would you recommend to someone looking to start working in security, or actually already works in security, to help take their career to like the next level?
Do you know what? It's really weird, but I've been approached by people who know my trainer, who's asked me if I can deliver a CCTV course. They've got 20 people on their books. They want to get them all CCTV'd up. So I don't know what's going on in the CCTV world at the moment, but I do recommend getting CCTV. And also, I've had, I lost that on a job once, a very well-paid job, doing absolutely almost nothing, because I didn't have a fire marshal certificate.
No way.
And it had nothing to do with fire. But they only wanted people who had a fire marshal certificate. And they were paying ridiculous money for doing almost nothing, but you had to have a fire marshal. And I was sitting there thinking, I ain't got one. And all these other guys were going, yeah. They took it as a side thing, not realising they just had it, never felt there was no intention of fighting fire. But because they had it, so those guys who's less qualified than me were getting this job because they had this fire marshal certificate.
And how much is that certificate? I think that's like
£35?
Yeah, something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, and they got a lot of work out of it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. If you're listening, get your fire marshal
it was ridiculous. When I said, well, a minute, I've got door supervisor badge, I'm a trainer, I don't know, but have you got a fire marshal certificate? I was like, no, sorry, then you can't do. And I was like, you're joking? They went, no, it had nothing to do with door supervisor work. Well, no, tell a lie, it's door supervisor badge and a fire marshal certificate.
Yeah, that's madness. That's actually
crazy.
Madness.
Absolutely, had nothing to do with fire.
Yeah. Because I know we've put together packages that students can buy as add-ons.
Yeah.
They have, because we did go out and speak to security companies, some of the biggest security companies across the UK, being like, what do you look for? And obviously they came back and said one of them, I think in the CV booster package, is fire marshal.
It is.
There's like mental health awareness, risk assessment, and
also, because don't forget, when you pass your badge and you go to a company, there's hundreds of you that passed your badge.
Yeah.
So what have you got different to somebody else?
How are you going to stand out?
How are you going to make yourself look different?
Yeah.
I got my CCTV. I got my fire marshal. I got this, I got that. And then when them jobs come up like that one, they're like, I got my fire marshal certificate.
Yeah. I think a lot of people coming onto the courses as well, they've got experience, maybe being in the police or being in the military, or even got previous security experience.
Yeah.
So especially if you're new to the industry, I think you've just got to do as much as possible to be like...
In security, you have to learn to sell yourself, because people won't remember you otherwise.
Give them no reason to overlook you.
Yeah. Because especially, I've had a friend of mine, and I've been telling her for years to get her badge. Years, yeah. So eventually she done it. And now, within 3 months of getting her badge, she's in supervisor role.
Wow, that's quick.
Thank you, because someone recognised she's got an organisation. She went in the job and sold her. I said, well, go in there and sell yourself. And she went in and got herself noticed. And the next time the company had an event, oh, you remember that supervisor girl that we used that time? Yeah, get her in. And they rang her up. What are you doing? Coming back, and all of her roles she gets now is in hospitality, VIP, as a supervisor.
Smashing it.
Yeah. Right? Because she went in and sold herself.
Yeah.
Don't just go in and turn up for work and do your hours and go home. Make them remember you for good reasons. Good reasons. And then when something comes up, it's like me. I've done close protection work. I've got no close protection badge. Why? Because a company I worked for knew I was on the ball, made them look good on a particular event. So when something came up, they went, oh, you remember that girl? That little Rasta lady? Yeah, have we got her number? Rang me up. What are you doing? Nothing. Do you want some close protection work? I haven't got a close protection badge. Yeah, we know that, but we'll cover you. You want to come on it? I was like, yeah. So I spent 6 months doing some close protection work for a social media company, a big social media company.
No way.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Very interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah, following people around West End covertly with secret cameras and reporting back to the client. Stuff like that. Yeah, it was good.
Like a little secret agent.
Yeah, there were 6 of us following these people around and taking pictures of them covertly.
Oh, so they didn't know that you would...
No. The social media company employed us to keep them aware of where these certain people were when they were in a particular area. And then who were they talking to? And then we'd try and find out who that person was they were talking to and what links they had and stuff like that.
Must have been so fun, little like investigations.
Yes, it was. Very good. And I'm not going to lie, I've had a really interesting career.
Yeah.
It's like when I was in the bank, started thinking banking, I became the penetration officer for about 6 months because I had a badge.
What's a penetration officer?
Legally allowed to blag your way into people's companies and buildings. fake IDs through windows, lying your teeth
So
off.
literally just try and sneak in here and
testing us,
then...
see if you can penetrate our building.
Were you successful?
Yeah.
You're too good at it.
I was too good at that. Cost some poor woman her job.
Oh.
Yeah, she shouldn't. But she didn't follow her instructions.
But if she's going to...
Thank you.
Yeah,
I could have been anybody. They said to her, stick to her like glue, don't leave her side. And when she's finished, escort her off premises and get our pass back. And then she left me. 2 minutes after she got told that, she went to me, I'll be back in a minute, and walked off. So I went missing. By the time she came back, I went there.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah, poor cow.
Well, actually, not. You know what? No, it's for everyone's safety.
Yeah, that was a very interesting job.
Yeah.
Time I come back, she come back, I went there. I was all over the building. Not good.
And out of all those, so we didn't even talk about these before. So out of all those jobs, was football stewarding still the most fun?
Yeah, yes, that was the most exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was exciting, I have to admit. But it lasted about 6 months.
Yeah.
And I knew it wasn't going to last long. It was just a temporary thing. But yeah, that was being legally given permission to make fake documents, lie, and try and sneak through windows and shit. If you get caught, just tell them to call me. That sort of stuff. But yeah.
Free get out of jail
Free
card.
get out of jail card.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But yeah, I got into a building I shouldn't have got into.
What building was that?
They've been bombed before. They shouldn't have known. They should have known better. But
Yeah, that's bad.
that was
How did
bad.
you manage that?
I lied. I told them I worked for, because I found out that I was sitting in the reception area because I'd already tried all the entrances and I couldn't get in that way. So I was sitting in the reception area and I saw the staff coming out of a certain area all carrying Costa coffee cups. So I thought, oh. So I went to the front. I went, I work for Costa Coffee. I've come to do a mystery shop in your canteen. And she said, have you got any ID? And I went, no, sorry, I just happened to be in the area. They gave me a call up, said, can I come in? She went, I can't help you, sorry. And I went, could you call the canteen manager for me, please? So she called the canteen manager, and he came down with the young lady. And I begged, I pleaded. I didn't know I was such a good liar. I felt so guilty because I did not think I thought I'm the sort of person who everyone can see when they're lying. But I obviously got this hidden face thing down to perfection because I lied my ass off. I said to them, I work for Costa Coffee, my colleague is sick.
Come up with this whole backstory.
All this parts, I didn't think that far. So yeah, I happen to be in the area, please, I'm begging you, it's going to save me so much time, much money, and I know I've got the right documents, I know I've got no idea, but please help me, please. So he felt so sorry for me, he went, all right then.
Oh, you tugged on his heartstrings and you probably got him fired as well.
Yeah, and he authorised the pass. But then he turned to the woman assistant. The assistant said to her, do not leave this woman's side. Everywhere she goes, you go. Stick to her like glue.
Oh, and then is this the woman who then got fired?
Yeah, and then he left me with her and the pass, and then she got me into the canteen, and then didn't do what she was instructed to do, which was do not leave me by myself.
Naughty.
So I exited the canteen and started playing around in the building. Running around, taking videos of myself, snapping. I went into a lift with a lot of people and they looked at me and and then they carried on looking. I just got out the lift with everybody else. And then I got to a certain floor and the pass didn't work anymore. So I hung about by the lift area and some man came out the lift. He touched his pass and the doors opened. So I just waited for him to walk in, caught the door before it shut and got in that way. He even turned around and looked at me and then turned around and kept on walking. So yeah, I got to about 15th floor or something.
Yeah.
And they said to me, stop now. Stop. Just stop. Point. Stop.
Jeez, I didn't even think roles like that existed really.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
So anyone who does work in corporate security, look out for your Claudettes who are trying to sneak into, because they are out there. People are trying to catch you off guard.
Yeah.
But okay, so I mean, we've covered so much. You've been absolutely fantastic. But I've got one final question for you. So out of your whole career working in security, what is one moment where you think being a female security professional has really benefited a situation?
I've got a couple, but the one that comes to mind was I was working at a football ground, and one of the stewards came up to me and said, he came up to me, I was talking to another supervisor, and he was chatting, and he said to us, there's someone in my stand who's fainted. So the other supervisor said, I'll be up in a minute. So I carried on talking. So I went, no, let me go up there and deal with it. So he went, yeah, fine, I'll go for a cigarette, you go deal with it, get me a bottle of water. So went up there with a bottle of water. This man hadn't fainted. I went up there and I don't know about being a female, but I put my hands on his neck and there was no pulse. So I went on the radio. What it was, I'd gone on the radio to call St John's. So I thought, let me just get St John's involved. So if he's just fainted, I'll take some water, but just let St John's know. So I went up there and by the time I felt his neck and couldn't find a pulse, St John's was there. So they took over from me. They couldn't find a pulse either. And next thing you know, they're dropping him to the floor and they're doing electric shock treatment on him. So I don't know if my colleagues froze, but everyone was just standing there while this was going on. So I'm like, remembering my first day training, they need space. So I'm there now, trying to get, look guys, you need to stand back. I'm talking to everyone, everyone's shocked, because it's not meant to happen at a football match. So I'm getting all the crowd back and I'm moving everyone, just getting everyone back. And people trying to ask me questions. I'm like, not now, please, can you just get back for me? I just need you to stand back. And I just kept repeating myself over and over again. I could feel the emotion building up. I'm just like, you know what, now's not the time to get emotional. Now's the time you got to keep back. So, I can't remember what order, but after I'd called for St John's, I actually went back to control and said, I think you better send an ambulance. So after St John's got there, the ambulance crew came up behind. My ambulance crew came up behind and then they took over from St John's. And then we had to help them because we was in the top tier. So we had to help them get him downstairs. So we helped them get him downstairs. His wife was obviously very
distraught.
Absolutely distraught. I'm there trying to manage the wife, and we're getting him out. We get him down, keep having to put him down, and then they keep giving him another shock. We pick him up again, we get him down some more stairs. It's not looking good. His wife's screaming, crying, please help my husband. So we end up getting him back of an ambulance, and he goes off. And then the next time I went in, I said to control, have you heard anything? They went, no, he was an away fan. So I said, no, we haven't heard anything. We don't know what's happened. Nothing's come back. And then about 3 months later, I get to go to work and there's a letter waiting for me. From him to just a little black lady with the glasses. So thank you for saving my life.
Wow.
He had a heart attack and died in the seat. But because we got the ambulance crew to him within like a minute of his heart stopping, that's what saved him.
That's crazy.
That's what saved him. By the time we got him down the stairs, my colleague who was, I'll be up there in a minute, it just wasn't. He said, I don't know if it was me. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I was a female or whatever, but it's just one of them things that I'm like, wow.
Kind of instincts kicked in.
Yeah. So, because when the steward first came down, he was like, get him a bottle of water, I'll take it up there and I'll send St John's. I don't know, let me go up there and see him.
Mm.
So I actually went up there to make sure he was all right. And he wasn't.
Shows how important first aid training is as well. I know the SIA brought it in as a mandatory requirement, 2021?
2021. Yeah.
But situations like that just shows why. Security are always the first people on scene when there is things like that going on. So I know a lot of people whinge and moan and be like, I don't want to do first aid, but this is why.
Trust me, just a couple of minutes. That's later, and it could have been different because the brain starts to die after 2 minutes. So, but the fact that we all got to him within that time frame and everyone that reacted the right way saved his life.
Well, thank you very much. I did say at the beginning you were a special woman, and after sitting down talking to you for the past 45 minutes, however long it's been, you're absolutely fantastic, and stories like that, brilliant.
Yeah, so good.
You're an inspiration.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. I hope I'll encourage at least one woman to sign up for it. Seriously.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah,
but yeah, thank you very much for coming on today. Really, really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right.
We'll speak soon.